us on WhatsApp. That is 724-0008. You can call in, you can message in. Either one works perfectly fine. Again, 724-0008. Now, in just a bit, we're going to make your Christmas magical, and that's being brought thanks to Republic Bank. And we've got a representative of Republic Bank. He is Mr. Meltus Desi. He's going to be telling us about that special campaign from Republic Bank. But first, we want to send out some birthday greetings to Mr. Emran Matthew. Happy birthday to you, sir. Hope you're having a wonderful day. And also to Mr. Marthas Peter, who's having a wonderful birthday. I have no doubt about that. And so we're wishing you a happy, happy birthday as well. A bit of history for today. We look back to the year 1792 when the French King Louis XVI went on trial accused of high treason and crimes against the state. He eventually gets beheaded. 1913, Mona Lisa, that famous painting, was recovered 2 years after it was stolen from the Louvre Museum in Paris, France. 1946, the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, UNICEF, was established, and that was by a resolution number 57-1 of the United Nations General Assembly. And in 1997, a bit more UN news, delegates from 150 industrial nations attended a UN climate conference in Kyoto, Japan, and they reached agreement to control heat-trapping greenhouse gases. We now move to our dish of the day, where we're taking in Republic Bank's Make Your Christmas Magical campaign. The Daily Dish is brought to you the kind compliments of our good friends at Tiles Plus. And welcome back to our program for this day. And of course, we are counting down the days towards Christmas. I think there are about 14 more to go. And of course, it is a very festive time of the year when we are looking to celebrate. We're looking to provide gifts to friends and family. We're looking to spruce up our homes. We are looking to end the year right and start the year on a good footing. And quite often that will require money. That will require some financing. That will require some, maybe even some investments to be made. And if you want to make your Christmas magical, Republic Bank is the place to start to make that happen. And they've got that special promotion on making your Christmas magical. Now, I'm so very pleased that we have Mr. Meltus Desi. He's here from Republic Bank to tell us about this particular Christmas promotion that Republic Bank Eastern Caribbean Limited has on offer. Welcome, Mr. Desi. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. And thank you for having me. I'd like to say good afternoon to all the listeners out there. It's a pleasure to be here with you, Alex. All right, just to talk about this amazing campaign we kicked off earlier this year. Well, we started in November. Just talk about all the amazing prizes and offers we have in store for our customers this festive season.
Indeed. Now, we've spoken about it a little bit once before, but you never know. There are lots of people who still might not be aware of this activity, this campaign that's on. So take us back about it. When did it actually all start, and why exactly is this something that will interest the general public?
All right, definitely. Well, like I said earlier, we actually launched the campaign on November 1st, 2024, and it's set to run until January 31st, 2025. All right, and this season is all about, being all-inclusive. So we want to include both our retail and our business customers in the magic this year. All right, so both customers on both sides can have opportunities to win great prizes this season. whether it be you want to get that new vehicle, you want to get that new home, all right, or whether it's just a business owner who is looking to expand or grow a bit, all right. So we are here to provide products and offerings that would help our customers and also give prizes for persons who actually take loans with us this Christmas.
Now that's a really important point that you're making, because yes, there'll be people out there who want to do home renovations, they want to get things for the family, they may want to go on a family vacation, whatnot, but it's also a really important time for the economy, for business, for the corporate sector, because there'll be some people who'll be really looking to make the money now, which may very well have to support them for later on into the year in 2025, especially, of course, we can think of the tourism sector. It's their peak season, and they really have to maximize on what they can do now. And you're providing support not just for your residents, ordinary customers, but also for the retail sector. That's really, really important, no doubt about it. So tell us, what exactly is available for retail customers? What do they have to look forward?
All right. Well, for our retail customers, it's very simple. We have a few retail products we offer. Of course, again, we have the vehicle loans, the mortgage and land purchases. So any customer who actually takes one of these loans with us this Christmas actually gets a chance to win. All right. And we're actually talking about one of the prizes is actually a $1,500 EC shopping spree, or the US dollar equivalent. All right, so one of our lucky customers will be picked for each month, November and December. So November has passed, but somebody will get the prize for November, and December is coming. So there's still an opportunity for people to get into the chance to win that prize with us.
Okay, so that's pretty good, because obviously, I mean, this is the season for giving, and clearly some people want to be able to get lots of things, make sure they've got their Christmas ham, make sure they've got their groceries, make sure all the things are in place. So you are, in fact, providing that incentive regarding these two different opportunities to win, both for the months of November and December.
Yes.
And I expect you have something even grander for individuals coming up, an opportunity for them to take a very, very special vacation.
Definitely. Of course, no promotion would be complete without the grand prize at the end of the day. And the grand prize is actually very grand. It's actually a Caribbean cruise. All right. So one lucky customer will get the opportunity to, for 5 days, actually sail around the Caribbean.
5-day cruise.
5-day cruise.
Okay.
Right? And enjoy, our amazing destinations in the Caribbean. All thanks to Republic Bank this year.
And some people may be thinking, boy, but I live in the Caribbean. I'm in St. Lucia right now. But I suspect that you may be going to maybe even Cancun and maybe the Bahamas or somewhere like that. I don't know. You haven't told us exactly where this cruise is headed to. Maybe that's a very closely guarded secret, or maybe you even have a choice. Who knows? I don't know. We'll have to find out.
We'll have to find out.
Any 5-day cruise sounds pretty good, I'm sure, for lots of people. So you're saying that once you've actually taken out any loan, it could be a car loan, it could be a mortgage, it could be a make it happen loan. Any of those loans, you qualify automatically to be in this Make It Magical Christmas promotion.
Yes, definitely. Any loan, as small loans, large loans, for any purpose, vehicle, house, land, whether it's just from some personal shopping you have to do, whether it's to travel. We offer loans for any occasion, unsecured and secured as well.
Now, let's come to your business clientele, as we were just speaking about earlier on. Obviously, it's a very important time for businesses. How are you going to be able to assist them? What's in store for them as part of this promotion?
Well, we actually tailored some products for the business customers to make it a little easier for them to qualify for financing, especially unsecured financing, because most times small businesses and startups, it's really difficult for them to come up with collateral or security for loans. So this Christmas, we are actually offering up to 50,000 EC. All right, for our small business customers, and that's unsecured. So we have very flexible and attractive rates and terms to help them to qualify for these loans and see how we can work for them. But up to 50,000 EC, that's a good bit of money.
Now break it down for some people. What do you mean by unsecured? What do you mean?
All right, when we say unsecured, we don't need any cash collateral or anything. We don't need to hold any money or hold on any property. So you come, we assess your application, and we just grant you the money based on what we deem you qualify for.
Mhm.
All right. So that's what unsecured technically means. So we don't need to hold anything. We don't need to hold shares. We don't need to hold a deposit, anything like that. So you come in, we assess it, and you have that opportunity to get up to 50,000 EC dollars. All right.
Well, we are the 11th day of December. So, of course, you may very well have a rush of people trying to get into this, especially, of course, if you may have a restaurant, you may have a small business, a tour operator. There's lots of opportunities now for them. So, clearly, this might be very attractive for them. Are there any prizes as well for your business clientele?
Of course, we cannot forget our business customers. So unlike retail, where we basically just give you a cash prize, the business customers, it's a little more in depth. So we're actually offering a $10,000 cash injection towards a business. So anything somebody wants to do, whether it's they want to upgrade equipment, they want to boost their inventory, especially during the holiday period, like you said earlier. It's a period where people want to start the year properly, especially next year, January. So the $10,000 injection is up for grabs for one lucky business customer who takes a loan with us this year.
So once you take a loan up to January 31st, you can in fact qualify for this potential prize.
Yes, definitely. As long as the campaign runs, any customer who comes in and qualifies for a loan, they actually have the opportunity to win those prizes.
Well, that certainly is pretty awesome indeed. And no doubt about it, there'll be lots of individuals who'll be looking to see whether they can do that. So, of course, for your retail customers, as you're saying, vehicle loan, mortgage, land is also included. I take it as well.
Yes.
And then, of course, for your business customers as well, they too will be eligible for some of these prizes as well. So it's pretty easy, I imagine, in terms of application, in terms of accessing more information about this promotion. How does one get more feedback, more details as to how they should actually apply?
Well, all the information you can actually get on a Republic Bank website. So all the information regarding loans, applications, and how to go ahead with the application and stuff is actually on the website. So customers can visit republicbankeclimited.com. All right, and go through the page, and you can see both retail and business platforms as well. So all the information is there, and there's actually an online portal where customers can actually go on and fill out an application, all right, which will be translated to a rep at the branch, and they can be contacted as well. Or you could just choose to walk into one of our Republic Bank branches. We have 3 branches across the island, of course, one in Rodney Bay, one in Castries in the William Peter Boulevard, and one on Clark Street, Viewfort.
So we don't have very much time to go before Christmas. I am thinking I need to get a loan before Christmas. We've got to get certain things done under the tree. Put a gift under the Christmas tree, or maybe some maybe a family investment, whatever the case may be. Is there enough time to be able to get through before Christmas to get that loan approved?
There definitely is enough time at the end. All right. So we have the campaign. So we are working our best to ensure that customers who come in, especially new customers, are treated with the utmost respect and things are turned around in the quickest time possible. Because at the end of the day, we are aiming to make everyone's Christmas magical this year. And by making it magical, we're looking at things like turnaround time as well. All right. So it's not making sense. You come in and then we tell you to make it magical, and then you have to wait all January, February to get a loan approved. So we are working to make it magical before Christmas, not after.
So Republic Bank has some of Santa's helpers and elves at the back there with trading out, working overtime 24/7 to make sure that these loans get approved.
I believe I'm one of them. I am a loans officer, so I'm one of them to help out with that.
Well, that's good to know, Meltus. Thanks very much for pointing that out. So just to recap a little bit, you've got quite a lot, of course, in terms of your traditional loan offerings that are available, whether it's a vehicle, whether it's a car, whether it's a make it happen, which is anything really you could want to do with that financing. That's obviously there and available. But in addition to that, you have benefits in terms of special prizes. You mentioned 2 shopping sprees, $1,500 EC.
Yes.
One for the month of November. There'll be a winner for November. There'll be a winner for December.
Yeah.
And then at the end of that as well, for your retail customers, you also have a grand prize of a 5-night Caribbean cruise.
Yeah, definitely.
Hopefully somebody is going to win that and be very happy.
Mhm.
And of course, for your business clientele, you got a $10,000 cash injection, which they can potentially win. So that's quite a lot to look forward to.
Yes.
Thanks to Republic Bank. And you may want to get a new vehicle on the road for Christmas. You want to be taking a vacation. You may want to be investing in your business to maximize on your clientele at this point in time. And so, of course, quite often you're going to have to get the financing to put that in. You've got to invest to reap the benefits, right? And so that's why you've got Republic Bank as part of their Make Your Christmas Magical campaign. And it's already started from November the 1st, and it's going up until January 31, end of January 2025. Any parting words? Did we forget anything to mention, Meltus?
Now, I just want to say, obviously, this campaign, again, is all about helping our customers, whether personal or business, just to treat themselves to that new car, that new home, that new piece of land, or any future investment you might want to make in your business. So we are here to assist. And remember, make your Christmas magical with Republic Bank.
And of course, it is the season for giving. And so Republic Bank is giving back with some of these wonderful prizes and opportunities. And hopefully you can have a magical Christmas as well. Hopefully we can all do so. We've been speaking, of course, to Mr. Meltus Daisy, representative of Republic Bank Eastern Caribbean Limited, on their Make Your Christmas Magical campaign. It's running up until January 31st. So don't think your Christmas is done on the 26th of December. It is going up until the 31st of January. Lots of opportunities here to win, and lots of opportunities as well to invest in your business, or maybe also buy a new home or a vehicle, whatever the case may be, whatever your ambitions are for this Christmas. So thanks very much, Meltus. Have yourself a wonderful day.
All right. Thank you for having me.
And of course, to all our listeners, that has been our Dish of the Day. And welcome back to our program. And we do hope that it's a good one for you. Now, of course, we are going to have to switch gears just a little bit in terms of our programming. Of course, it is a pretty busy time and season of the year. We're seeing lots of activity as a result of cruise. And I think it is seeming to be panning out. The cruise season, which of course had a significant hit as a result of COVID-19. It is certainly a good sign to see all the different wharves of the harbor handling different vessels of different sizes, as we witnessed yesterday with about 4 vessels in port, and certainly raising the importance of the cruise sector and the cruise tourism sector to the economy, and for vendors, for service providers. There are lots of different tour operators on the road, whether they're using bushwhackers, whether they're going on double-decker buses, whether they're on trolley trains, or on taxis, or even on bicycles. Many different modes to get around, or on foot as well. Lots of visitors on foot as well, and trying to head to the various hotspots in and around Castries. Of course, particularly that of VG Beach. Lots of interest there as well. And of course, so for at this time of year, there are lots of agencies that certainly have to have a very strong and active presence. The managers of some of these properties, like the VG Beach, for example, the National Conservation Authority, no doubt they are having to keep busy to ensure that the place is maintained and kept clean. And we also have as well the presence of the police I have to say, I did not notice quite a lot of police yesterday in the city center, but in fact, there were some up at VG Beach utilizing ATVs, and they probably are on many other beaches and in places like Soufrière as well on the road. So it is certainly, as I said, a really important time of year because for many a St. Lucian, the hustle is on. The opportunity to be able to make an honest dollar is, of course, very, very critical at this time. And let's hope that, in fact, we can see that the sector is rebounding and it's actually providing benefit to different people around the island. So it's really important that we can look at the product as well and see what is on offer and what are people coming to look for. What are they? How can we differentiate ourselves within the market? What are we saying that we have? And there's been these traditional taglines over the years, which people associate with the Caribbean, and there's usually the sun, sea, and sand. And of course, we know that you've got to go beyond sun, sea, and sand these days. Certainly, the sun, although it is a pretty cold winter period for much of North America, and that sometimes redounds to the benefit of individuals. But the reality is that it's not just about the sun and the heat, because we do have some places that are pretty hot, even beyond, even in this period. But certainly beyond the beach, what is the product? And we had the taglines. You still hear it coming up. This is a country that has the world's only drive-in volcano. And of course, the big question is, how do we leverage our beautiful island to the benefit of everybody, but in a sustainable way that does not jeopardize the very same things, the very same products that we are depending on. And so product development is a very important aspect of tourism. Quite a lot of times we think about the marketing, making that marketing pitch out there. But the best marketing pitch you can have is a great product and a wonderful experience that an individual can actually have. Somebody can then go back out and give positive reviews, give actual experiences based on something that they've gone through, not what some marketer has decided one should necessarily believe. So the product is vital. And we certainly do have a very diversified product when you compare us perhaps to other islands in the Caribbean. There's no doubt about it that St. Lucia has a diverse product. But at the same time, we do need to be looking at some of the supporting infrastructure that exists to be able to handle the numbers of people that we actually are seeing. So sometimes it's even the experience of somebody walking along the roadside, right? Walking along the road. Is it a safe walk? Is it an enjoyable walk? Is it a shaded walk? Is it something that is difficult? Are there lots of vehicles that make it feel very unsafe? All of these things have implications. Are there sidewalks even to begin with? Something as basic as that, you would think. But let's face it, in many places, we don't actually have some of that infrastructure at play. And is it somewhere that I can easily navigate? Are there clear landmarks, and can I actually figure my way around the city? And is that something that I can do with a degree of confidence and safety? Of course, what is vital, despite whatever limitations may exist, is the hospitality, the hospitableness of the individuals who live right here in St. Lucia. And time and time again, we've been hearing that that is one thing that we have been able to distinguish ourselves by, that we have been generally very friendly, very welcoming, very hospitable. And that is something that certainly we should pride ourselves in, but also just not take for granted that these things are immutable and that they cannot change, because societies do change. People do have, over time, the values may change. And so we've got to be mindful of that, that we can maintain some of these positive attributes within our society when it comes to the whole issue of hospitality. Some of these things are not necessarily known, they're not obvious, and sometimes you do require training, and sometimes you do require a lot more public sensitization about the importance of tourism to the country and how it, in fact, impacts us. Even though we may be working in the public sector, we may be a teacher, we may be a police officer, we may be a fire officer, but it in fact still has real implications for all of us in the society. So certainly, as we are into this season and what is being touted as a record-breaking year for visitor arrivals, we have to also be reminded that it is always work in progress. There is always room for improvement. There are opportunities to do better, and we should always be looking to see the feedback, to get the feedback as to, well, what has been your experience, say, in St. Lucia, and what did you like and what did you not like, right? And all of these things matter and should matter when it comes to appreciating the what is existing here. Because let's face it, there are lots and lots of very beautiful islands all around the world. We're seeing that happening right here in the Caribbean. Islands that were not so keyed into tourism, they're getting more and more so. Dominica, St. Vincent, for example, even Martinique, which traditionally was more dependent on visitors coming from France, from mainland France and Europe. They now also are looking more to North America, to the Canadian and American markets, and they're doing a lot more promotion in terms of their tourism in those markets. So there are changes there. So we have new competitors with very distinct products and very interesting products, and so all of these things mean that you've got to be able to stand tall in terms of what you have on offer. Countries that traditionally were not seen as tourism destinations are now trying very hard to be able to attract more visitors. Guyana, for example, was tended to be more focused on commodities, minerals, oil and gas now, of course. But even with this current period, this boom in oil and gas revenue that they're having, they're also investing significantly in terms of tourism. And so there probably are more hotels being built now in Georgetown than right now in St. Lucia. And that goes to show how also business tourism is one of the pulls that that one can use in terms of attracting visitors. But there are lots of beautiful islands, as I said, out there. Whether you're heading to the Seychelles or the Maldives or Mauritius or Phuket, wherever it may be, we certainly have lots of competitors, and we certainly therefore have to appreciate that we've got to be the best in the game when it comes to the product offering. That's our dish of the day. When we come back, we'll take in our weather report and then take in some calls.
And that's all, of course, on the 1.1 is on time for the weather report as of 12 noon today, presented by Island Style Talent Bath. The forecast for St. Lucia Valley for the next 24 hours. Winds will be blowing from between the northeast and east near 15 miles per hour or 24 kilometers per hour, becoming lighter during the night and early morning. The weather, partly cloudy skies becoming cloudy at times with widely scattered showers. And the forecast for the lesser entities, partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy with widely scattered showers. And the weather summary, light and moderate northeasterly to easterly winds will continue across the Eastern Caribbean region during the next few days. Moisture and instability associated with a low-moving trough system located a few hundred miles east of the Lesser Antilles will cause occasional cloudy periods with some light and moderate showers over the Lesser Antilles during the next 24 hours. And this was the weather report as of 12 noon today, presented by Island Style Talent Bath.
And welcome back to the lunchroom here at Radio Caribbean International. This is our penultimate show for the year. Tomorrow will be the last one, and then we'll have to say goodbye to 2024 from the lunchroom. Of course, we'll be back in the new year, God willing, for another one. Now, of course, the number to call in to tell us what's on your plate today, it is 452-3046. Again, 452-3046, as well as our WhatsApp number, that is 724-0008. Let's take in a call at this time. Good afternoon. Welcome to the lunchroom, and what's on your plate? How are you doing, sir? Wonderful. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Geothermal energy. Yes. Well, that project is still ongoing. From what I know, I think they've confirmed the sites that they're going to be doing the actual drilling of, right? So they've done some work in terms of, what you can do without necessarily drilling. They've done assessments and they've identified where they believe the geothermal resources are located, and they now have to back that up with actual test drilling, right? So they've got to now go down with test wells. No, 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 no. So no, there's a no. You still have to drill to get it out, right? But what they did was based on non-invasive technology that they can identify where the resources are, but then they don't know necessarily the full extent of it and the quality of what is available until they actually do the drilling. So they've identified the locations. They've identified, they got to bring infrastructure to those locations to be able to actually support the drilling that they're going to be doing. I think there are 3 locations, and if memory serves me correct, I think they may end up doing up to, depending on how things go, up to 5 wells. Now, each one of the wells that they do is a pretty expensive undertaking, right? And so they've got to get it right. And right now, although they had already done an environmental and social impact assessment, now that they've gotten to the point of the precise locations where they want to drill, my understanding is that they have to now go through another process of environmental assessment. And once that is done, they can then begin the actual process of getting the contractors on the ground to begin doing the actual wells. It's a long process, unfortunately. It's taken quite a long time because of all of these requirements. A lot of them are requirements because of the World Bank, right? They're very careful about environmental safeguards, as it's termed. And so it's part of this whole process. And ideally, it should have happened a little earlier, because the reality is this is a very important source of energy compared to solar and wind. With solar and wind, they are known as intermittent sources. They sometimes there. I mean, in the case of solar, of course, it's during the daytime only. And then even during the daytime, you can have cloud, you can have, and then which would obviously impact, or you could have shading from trees. All of these things can end up impacting on the output of a solar system. And as well, in the case of wind, it's also intermittent. But in the case of geothermal, it can provide a steady flow of energy, right? That's what is known as base load. And so in terms of our future energy projections, it's a really, really important source if it can in fact be achieved. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's a little bit myopic, because in any case, invariably, you could potentially, I'm sure it would, and in these processes again, you would be reimbursed for your loss of product, and those things are part of the project, to ensure that if there is any relocation to be done, that individuals can be potentially relocated. So right. Right. So those things, I mean, yeah, obviously have to be properly done. But well, right. So that's what I was going to say. If we can, in fact, get to a point where the drilling can actually start in 2025, it's probably going to take about a year before they actually get the results. All right. So that takes you up to maybe 2026. Now, even beyond that, now you then have to now start this whole process. If it is in fact feasible, if in fact you do have a resource that can be utilized, right? And they got to look at the whole set of different things: the acidity, the flow, right? And right. So you would not, right. Right. So what I was saying is that even so, they even beyond 2025, it might very well take another 5 years before you can actually get, because remember, you've got to now do the designs, you've got to now do you have to figure out how it's going to be financed, because a geothermal plant is a very expensive plant. It's a significant amount of investment, capital investment that has to be made. Right. So if even with even if in a very good situation, therefore, it still might take another 5 years before you can actually say that, look, St. Lucia is going to be sourcing a significant amount of power from its geothermal source. Well, we're almost in 2025, caller. So, I mean, and let's face it. Yes, we have been talking about geothermal from since the 60s or 70s, right? It's been a long time that this has been a dream, and let's hope that we can now get to a point where it is achievable. We've seen some islands have done it already in the Caribbean. Nevis, Dominica is moving that way. Guadeloupe. That's correct. And in fact, in the case of Dominica, they've got, I think, one of the largest, based on the assessments that have been done, they've got one of the largest resources potential for geothermal energy, even far more than us. So there is potential, but then of course it still comes down to having the finance to be able to realize that, and that sometimes requires a lot of things to happen. Remember, we're not a very large energy player at the end of the day. We're a small island like Dominica, and sometimes it's not always that easy to get investors. Oh no, I know. Yeah, no, it's transformational for us. But what I'm saying is that in the greater scheme of things, you have people who might be more interested in investing in, in the Chinas and the Indias and these large markets. You understand? All right, that's the point I'm making. Um, but I'm not saying that obviously. Let's be hopeful that it is something that will materialize, because it will definitely be a major boost for the generations moving forward, if it in fact can be achieved. Certainly in terms of our energy security, it's a really important thing, because quite often we think about, there's always that argument, well, it's still cheaper to just import diesel, but at the end of the day, we don't produce diesel, right? Well, you never know, but I don't think I wouldn't count on that one, caller. I Yeah, well, you never know, but like I said, I don't foresee whether you might end up. You never know. Like you never know. They're still finding in different parts of the world. People are still, I mean, exploring for minerals, and you never know what might come forward. But mm, okay. All right then, caller. Have a good one as well. Have a good and have a good Christmas if we don't hear from you as well. Okay, now the number to call in is 452-3046. Again, 452-3046. Of course, the matter of infrastructure, as the caller was just pointing out, has been a major talking point over the past year. In fact, the Prime Minister recently stated that he's working with the financial year for the year of infrastructure. So he's heading right into March of next year. Just was it today? I think I also saw an announcement regarding the VA4 Administrative Center. That project, as you would know, had been started, and it was one of those which had in fact been stopped during the former administration's time in government. And he's indicated that he hopes that that project will recommence sometime in the year 2025. It is certainly an important undertaking in terms of the services that are available to the town of Vieux Fort. But let's also hope that in terms of services, also not just the direct government services, but even spaces for culture and entertainment. Vieux doesn't really have, as far as I can recall, any such dedicated space for that purpose, and that would certainly help overall for the community. So I like to think of it more as a civic center, maybe, than necessarily an administrative complex. So let's hope that is also considered in that mix. Now, the Minister for Infrastructure was making a statement at a pre-cabinet press briefing on Monday, and that was on the matter of St. Lucia's infrastructure in general, and saying that it was in a deficit. Well, that's something that I think we can all agree to, that it has certainly been, we have been faced with an infrastructural deficit on island for a very long time. And just to read some of that piece. In the year of infrastructure, the Department of Infrastructure, Ports and Transport has undertaken a number of road rehabilitation works and also road maintenance activities, King said. In this regard, the department has been responding to the needs of St. Lucians. We recognize that the road infrastructure in St. Lucia has deteriorated over a period of time, and in many instances, that period of deterioration has been well over 5 years, 10 years, thereabout, he explained. What we have also realized is that our infrastructure team, apart from decaying, we are in deficit in terms of maintaining our infrastructure, whether it is water, roads, and you name it. In all of those areas, we are in deficit. And so the year of infrastructure falls in line with our strategic plan, King said. The plan, the minister told reporters, is referred to as Infrastructure 2030 and challenges the government to bring existing infrastructure up to date and forecast needs by the year 2030. King then went on to outline a number of ongoing road projects under the Road Improvement and Maintenance Program, RIMP, coupled with the department's infrastructure program. These projects include rehabilitation roadworks in Vieux North, on the Zabor Bellevue Road to the tune of $10.4 million. There's also the Canaries Road and rehabilitation work, the Lapwet Road in Micoud North, the Asucanal Road rehabilitation in Grosley, and the Beausejour Kaimaje Road. The minister also outlined smaller road projects in Canals, as well as the Cedar Heights Road project. King said CIP monies have also been allocated for road projects in Babono, Labrie, Dennery South, Micoud North, Kubari, Castries East, and Castries South. In addition, he explained that the ongoing Chaussee Road works are part of a wider scope to rehabilitate the major roads in the city. The Chaussee Road is under rehabilitation. It is being constructed as we speak. The department took a very strategic decision where we insisted that before we tackle Chaussee Road, we should change the water infrastructure. So the government has spent some $2.6 million on changing the water lines along Chaussee Road in Castries, King revealed. The original asbestos pipes, he explained, were more than 60 years old and were being replaced with more durable PVC. He announced that the contractor is beginning preparations for the paving of the road next week. Following this phase, King says the department will launch a road rehabilitation program for the city of Castries to include Brazil, Jeremy, Bridge, and Manuel streets. And that story, as I said, coming from the St. Lucia Times regarding the infrastructure deficit. And of course, the matter of the water sector is a good case in point. Quite recently, there was a WASCO release indicating its challenges in terms of the amount of available water for the north, and despite all the rain, by the way, and the challenges that they, in fact, are facing. And it is this continuous difficulty of trying to keep up with the issues of maintenance. And we've heard the phrase, a stitch in time saves nine. But unfortunately, quite often, entities like Wasco apparently don't even have the means to do those stitches in time, and quite often end up holding even more challenges in the long run. In fact, we've seen some significant amounts of money spent. You can think of that desilting project, for example, which was undertaken not too long ago. Well over 60, $70 million. And according to Mr. Dominic Fede, in speaking to the matter, that they were only able to desilt, I think, about 8 or 9% of what was the target. The amount of silt actually in the dam. So a remarkable amount of money spent, but an interesting admission by Mr. Fede regarding the actual output of that particular project. And so effectively, we still have significant water challenges when you look at what exists with some of these systems that Wasco has. And of course, it is certainly even worse in the south of the island, albeit there have been improvements thanks to like the Mexican government with the Dennery Mabria Valley supply, and then most recently with respect to the system in Viejo, significant amounts of money spent there thanks to assistance coming from the Mexicans and other players. But it still does not really tackle the long-term demands of water in the south of the island, particularly if we are going to be seeing large-scale hotels being developed in the south. That has always been a major question mark. How are these properties going to, in fact, be provided with water, but not just them, of course, as well other industrial uses and residential growth in the south is in fact hindered by the absence of a reservoir similar to that of the John Compton Dam that does not exist in the south to date. Let's take in a call before we end the program, and we'll head to the phone lines to take that call in. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Lunchroom. What's on your plate today? Hello? Hello? Looks like we may have lost that call, I suppose. But of course, if you do want to call back, your opportunity to do so is pretty much already done because we are, in fact, at that time when we are going to have to lock off the program. But of course, and the point being made by Minister King there regarding the state of some of these lines, mentioning asbestos pipes, more than 60 years old. And you can think to some of the sewer lines that exist in Castries. Those were built in the 1950s, right? So they would be, you're talking about 70 years now. And in fact, that is still a major area where we have an infrastructural deficit in the whole issue of wastewater management and the absence of any treatment for that sewage. And so we still, unfortunately, despite the wonderfully beautiful harbor that we have, the water itself tells a different story when it comes to its quality. And because we still have this issue of raw sewage in the Castries area. It's clearly not something that is a pretty sight. And in fact, at one point, remember, that was actually a deal breaker regarding investment by certain companies like Royal Caribbean. They wanted to know that the government was, in fact, going to take on the matter of providing a sewage treatment plant. There have been studies done on this in respect of establishing such a plant. A site, in fact, has been earmarked in the South VG area in the vicinity of the Marine Police and in that area west of Gantas Bay for such a facility. But of course, the funding to make it happen has not yet materialized. So it is one of those major outstanding infrastructural deficits, which perhaps never doesn't really get too much of a mention. But even as we are on that matter of wastewater, even across many of our villages and towns, that is pretty absent as well. We're going to have to end it here, however, and so we'll be back again tomorrow for our final program for the year. Hope you can join us for that. I'm your host, Calix George Jr., saying goodbye.